Senate Bill 3410 is the omnibus sunset bill. It provides for a one-year extension of 12 different sunsets that will be occurring, and in addition, it also contains the extension of the unemployment insurance speed bump from January 1st, 2025, and moves it to January 1st, 2027. The reason that we need to extend the speed bump is in order to facilitate negotiations regarding unemployment insurance. We always put in a, quote, speed bump, unquote, that would increase employer taxes and reduce employee benefits. Since the unemployment insurance fund is sound, we don't need to have any negotiations that need to happen in the very near future. This is agreed by business and labor, and I think it's very important that we do in order to avoid an increase in taxes on employers and a decrease in benefits to employees.
Some of the underlying bills on our side of the aisle had no votes, so I think that will be why you see no votes from our side today. Anytime we deal with an omnibus, there are things we like and don't like, particularly on this side, and some of these I think you'll hear we wish were separated out so our vote would reflect how we feel on each one of these, but I appreciate your explanation.
And this bill is an omnibus, very, very tiny omnibus revenue bill, and it mainly deals with items from the Department of Revenue and the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. With DCEO, the changes deal with the tax credits that we approved for music and musicians tax credit, and involves some reporting requirements. There's no new tax credits. I think we're making changes to some of the tax credits that we approved in the spring in order to make sure that they're able to be implemented in the manner that we expected.
Is investing kids in here at all?
No, it is not.
Okay. I don't understand how it is we're willing to take care of everyone else's needs, but when the needs of our children are at stake and their futures, we're just going to let it go by.
Ladies and gentlemen of the General Assembly, as we conclude the final week of veto session, there is a palpable sense of anticipation in the air, almost akin to excitement being felt by a child awaiting Christmas morning. However, instead of a festive cheer, what we are truly anticipating is the looming lame duck session scheduled for the first week of January. For those less familiar with the term, lame duck session occurs when retiring legislators or those not reelected return to Springfield for one final period of legislative activity. During this time, legislators are no longer accountable to their constituents, raising concerns about their accountability and integrity to the decisions made. The lame duck session has historically been one of the most risky and concerning periods for the residents of our great state. But why is that the case? Well, there's lots of evidence to that point. In January 2021, the Safety Act was rushed through the Senate in the wee hours of the morning onto the House and then was signed by the governor. This legislation has since become one of the most contentious and litigated bills to emerge from our General Assembly. It required multiple subsequent bills to address its flaws, resulting in more amendments than the original text itself, not to mention the numerous lawsuits challenging its constitutionality. Fast forward to January of 2023, we saw the introduction of Protect Illinois Communities Act. Similar to the Safety Act, PICA was pushed through quickly, deemed unconstitutional by many, yet still signed into law, and just recently was struck down by a federal judge. This pattern leaves law-abiding taxpayers to defend their civil rights in court against their own state, bearing the financial and emotional burdens of these legislative oversights. The lame duck session is fertile ground for rushed and ill-considered legislation. The examples of Safety Act and PICA demonstrate how critical policies can be compromised when accountability is diminished. Let's not make any worse decisions during lame duck session by ramming through more policies that will drive people out of Illinois. We must restore common sense to our state's governance.